Hello all, welcome back to Career with Vasanth YouTube channel. My name is Vasanth. I hope you all doing well. As you know, this is a video series where we are doing a lot of mock interview. Today with me in the video I have Aditi. Aditi is an Angular developer. More about Aditi. Aditi only will be explaining. Like most of my mock interview, this video is going to be combination of a lot of things. One is basics of JavaScript that's going to be fundamentally there. Another is I'm started introducing some basic DSA questions, not so hard, but something to give you overview about the DSA problems. And definitely there'll be one machine coding problems where Aditi will be solving a problem. Meanwhile, if we get time anyway, we are going to discuss some basics of system design as well. That's all we are going to do in the video. For some reason, if Aditi is not giving the right answers to some questions, I'm going to answer that at the end. So please watch the video till the end. If Aditi does give all right answer, then I'll not be making that post video. That's all. Aditi, if you can introduce yourself, we can get started.
Yes, hello all. My name is Aditi Khedkar and I have 3 years of experience in Angular
Hmm.
and I currently work both in UI and BE. The full stack is Angular and Java. Mm.
Wonderful, wonderful, Aditi. So, Aditi, you have 3 years of experience in front-end development using Angular. One of the primary question, like a lot of people out there has, is like Angular is not having so many opportunities. So everybody's turning towards React. As you spent 3 years there, what is your opinion about it?
Opinion is actually React based hiring I've observed they're mostly for small scale and mid scale companies.
Okay,
I still feel I'm hopeful about Angular being used in legacy and
good.
banking related domain, especially since I belong to the banking domain. It's time and time revisited that how much Angular is security wise better than React. In
Exactly.
the end, it is framework, so it's very difficult to compare both of them. But
Yeah.
as the job market situation, I can see definitely React hiring is more.
Got it. See, you say like React hiring is more, but Angular opportunities are not less. So if you're sticking to something more like a B2B sort of businesses, you continue to have opportunities. What you're saying, Aditi, correct?
Yes, yes. Almost all big firm companies
I know.
usually have Angular as a stack.
Correct. So Aditi, now let's discuss a simple problem. Okay. Can you share your screen? Question is very simple, Aditi. Okay. So let's say I give you an array. How do you
Okay.
reverse the given array? I have any array you can take. Like for example, const ARR. I even sent in the chat as well, or you could take any array. Const ARR is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
please type it? You can type it. Const ARR uh, is equals to that array notation and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Let's say this array need to be reversed, Aditi. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me the different approaches that comes to your mind. I'm more like want to explore this even for the audience also. It's not that this question is very hard. There are multiple approaches. So how a candidate would think that will be the ask from the interviewer. Always remember when the question looks simple, then the expectation is like how well you react to the problem or what are the different possibilities that you can think of. Same applies to you, Aditi. Please tell me.
Okay, Vasan. One thing I can right now think on the top of my head is using reverse function
Correct.
in JS. Uh,
Correct.
and that's already predefined.
Correct.
Another way I can also think is using loops.
Correct.
For loop,
Yeah. If you use a follow up, how you are going to do it?
I'll be setting the number of length first and then start decrementing it
Correct.
periodically.
Correct.
And I will also try to use another array.
Got it.
So there is array, so I'll try to use reverse array and
Hmm.
try to push it and then print it. So it will
Got it.
be.
So there is
Mm.
I cannot call it like a time space complexity, but using this approach where you would use an like you iterate from the end, basically you're using another array. Correct,
Yes,
Aditi.
yes,
So basically
yes.
that uh, especially to you and other audience who are watching in the interview, always ask the output array, do they consider as a space complexity or not? Getting my point, right? So sometimes it's
Correct.
like the output need not to be a space complexity thing because that might be something that we are doing here, but in a company or whenever we are doing the actual project, we may not consider that doing that because we might just process it. We are trying to log here or something like that. But in case if they consider that also as space complexity, then the space complexity is actually n. Correct? Because we're using another array in that case, Aditi. Correct? Let's say you
Yes,
don't
yes.
have to use another array. In the given array only, you need to reverse it. Can you think of something?
I'm not sure exactly about the technical approach, Vasant, but I
Sure.
think swapping can also be considered in such cases. Like I
Okay.
will, let's imagine I'm trying to iterate through array, and
Hmm.
then I am instead of this time length, I will use length by half.
Okay.
Uh, my approach is very similar to binary sort, just
Okay.
like that. Where what I'm trying to do is I'll declare a variable this time, not an array, and
Mm-hmm.
that variable will try to swap in the runtime, whether
Mm.
that array is. I'm not sure how to explain this, but the approach is very similar to a binary sort.
Binary sort or binary search? Binary search, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm just trying to reverse through half of the
got it.
what the approach is. Uh,
Yes.
that is the only way I can think. Yes,
Yeah. Sure. See, binary search sort of works if it is a sorted, correct? But as you know, the problem statement, according to problem statement, we did not consider it as a sorted. Even if you consider it as sorted, correct? Even binary search sort of approach, you're heading in a right direction, but that's not the approach. If you wish to take
okay.
like 1 more minute, something in this direction, if you want to think, you can think. I can
I
give
would
you.
like to, if we go into the next question, I'm just out of ideas. Sorry.
Sure. I'll give you a hint, Aditi. Okay. So let's see how do you use the hint. See, most of the time, whenever such problems, we look at it. We try always like we have basically fundamentally we have to iterate the array. That is unavoidable. Correct.
Correct,
See, this cannot be done without the complexity of at least n or n by two. Like we have to iterate the array. Without that, we cannot do. Correct.
correct,
And
correct.
whenever the iteration comes, we always think from one point, like the origin of the array. How about we
Oh,
thinking from multiple points?
to think of it, Vasant, I also realized there is another way, popular way where we use an array two-pointer method,
Correct.
where first pointer is supposedly at 1,
Correct.
and last pointer is at 4.
Correct.
And they accordingly we can as we iterate, you're right, in the end it is O of n only, but since there are two pointers, similar swapping logic starts happening.
Correct. So basically, we have
um,
two pointers. Let's say the first and last. The pointers named that way. Correct. The first points to
correct,
array
correct.
of zero, and the last points to array of n minus one. Correct. And we iterate the
Yes, yes.
array. We iterate the array only till the both pointers point to the same value. Correct. But here
Correct,
also
correct,
there are two
correct.
possibilities. If you observe keenly, Aditi, the array with even number of elements behave in a different way. Array with odd number of elements will behave in a different way. Got my point, right?
Correct, correct, correct.
Okay, so those scenarios we need to handle, but we have to iterate the array. We even do not iterate the array till n. We can just complete it in the n by 2. Correct. Half of the array length close to we could iterate. But the complexity point of view, time complexity point of view, you have to say n by 2, 2n, 3n, they're all always n. So the time complexity is n. Okay.
Okay,
But
okay.
good that you could come up with this approach. So always remember, you and the audience, the two-pointer approach. A lot of problems can be solved using this. Lot of I've seen like Google also asking questions around this, and many were able to solve with the help of the two-pointer approach. This is one of the approach. So now,
Okay.
Aditi, let us discuss one of the common question that whenever people using Angular, React sort of thing, and they're not using the plain HTML and JavaScript is, why should
Mhm.
somebody use Angular? So there are a lot of advantages, but let's stick to the one primary thing of performance. Correct? Do you think Angular works better than a website built using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? If so, how?
Okay. For me, Angular is like a ecosystem, Vasant, where
Correct.
one big advantage I have seen instead of vanilla HTML, CSS is single page application approach.
Mm,
React is also similar in that way. So the overall organization, and it's very systematic.
correct.
That is developer's experience. But
Mm,
technically speaking, single page applications can be built very well and fast with Angular. The
mm,
same approach can be done in HTML, CSS, just the code lines and the logic is too much. Even the
mm,
bundling, right from route calls, everything is, it's like an ecosystem.
mm.
That's why I
I
feel
agree. The
there's a bias.
ecosystem part, I agree, Aditi. Okay, because
Okay.
unlike even React, Angular basically gives you all the folders where the services need to be kept, correct? Or where do you basically all the folder structure that a particular project wants, everything comes along with the basic template itself, correct? Very organized. And but the problem is like, what is the advantage where it stands except the ecosystem? As you know, in a basic HTML, JavaScript application also, maybe you can stop sharing as well in the meantime. Did we discuss this?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
sure.
The plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript website as well, we could make a very structured sort of thing. Though it's not maybe
Correct.
built in like Angular, but we can make it happen. Correct. So that's not core advantage. Basically, folder structure is not a core advantage. Correct. Except
Right?
like performance point of view. Correct. From the performance point of view, do you see any advantage, Aditi?
Performance-wise, for example, we can implement, I can also add a security point if that's okay. I have seen
Hmm.
security concerns like cross-site
Hmm.
course issues and XSS ones are being handled better in Angular, as well as
Got it.
a lazy loading concept can be implemented, but Angular just provides a seamless way. So
I agree.
it's easier. I think things are easier when it comes to framework.
Sure. See, React uses the concept of reconciliation for re-rendering the DOM. Okay, one of the way where
Correct,
it
correct.
maintains multiple is. What does Angular uses for re-render? How Angular basically re-renders the DOM, Aditi?
Through change detection, I'm not sure.
Yeah, if it is
Um,
a change detection, do you like to explain like how it is better than typical DOM re-rendering that happened in vanilla JavaScript? How it that is better?
okay,
Because this is the crux, Aditi. A folder, everything is they're all superficial. How do you re-render a DOM? That's what makes a framework, a library or special. You also agree, I assume. Correct. If you can re-render
correct, correct.
efficiently, then that is when somebody has an advantage of it. Otherwise, no. Correct. Tell me, how does Angular does the re-rendering in an efficient way compared to vanilla JavaScript?
I can think of one way where Angular is special in terms of change detection is one of the most simplest yet powerful is two-way binding right now, where it's easy to keep up with the UI and also we get the freedom to choose the strategy as well. For example, if we have multiple components,
No, no,
I
but
can
Aditi,
choose.
let me be very precise. Like what technique Angular uses for re-rendering? I'm only interested in that. And what
Okay,
is the technique name and how it is better than typical DOM re-rendering? See, biggest advantage both Angular and React solves is the DOM re-rendering, correct?
correct,
Whereas
correct,
in case of plain vanilla JavaScript, the complete DOM is re-rendered, or people at least think that way. And React and Angular has a superior way of doing it. What do you think
correct.
Angular uses to re-render the DOM in a most efficient way? If you think you need some more time, you can tell, or if you wish to skip, we could go to the next question.
I can think of Zone.js. It uses Zone.js for change
Zone.js.
detection.
Okay.
Yes, I know when change detection can be occurring when there are events and as I was mentioned, two-way binding. But does this is it aligned to the question? I am now not sure. When you
The
ask,
change
I the first answer
detection,
I
see,
go,
change detection is what you see will make the Angular to re-render the DOM in an efficient way, Aditi. Correct?
correct, correct.
So please, if you wish to elaborate, please elaborate on change detection. How change detection works. Let's say you have an array of 10 elements rendered on the screen. Ninth element updated. Correct? That need to be now
Yes.
re-rendered on the screen. How does change detection make that happen?
There are some ways where change detection happens seamlessly.
Okay.
That are suppose if there is any events, any click events, any change events, then there are any HTTP request if I use async as an operator, even when there is lifecycle hooks, if I may say, and then there is a uh, input output communication. That is the when this happens seamlessly, and Zone.js is responsible for that. When it comes to manual triggeration, I think that we can use CDR.detect changes. That is how we trigger it manually.
Hmm.
Especially whenever there is a change in input, as you mentioned that I changed the array. How did it detect?
Hmm.
I feel if that array is used as an input to another component, and if the parent component makes changes, then input property automatically keeps up with that. So overall, I think Zone.js is the real hero in Angular.
Got it. Got it. Sure. Can you present the screen, Aditi, back, where we'll solve a question for around 15 minutes and then probably we'll come back to some more discussion.
Yes, yes.
See, the question is very simple, Aditi, and we have around 15 minutes to solve this problem. We should
Okay.
implement a countdown timer. This is one of the most common interview question that is asked in both Angular, React, and HTML, CSS, and JavaScript also, where we will have a timer. We will show seconds and minutes. Okay, like first it will be 0 0 seconds, 0 0 minutes. You click on start, the timer gets started. Okay, when
Okay.
it starts ticking, like 1 second, 2 second, it will become 59 second, then it's 60 second, and it becomes 1 minute 0 second. Got my point, Aditi? And it keeps going basically. And if you click on stop, or if you stop or reset, it will be reset back to the zero. So we have start, reset. Please implement this. I want you to implement pause and resume, but that we could do later. Question clear to you, Aditi?
Yes, so when I will start, just one question, when I'll
Sure.
use a start, it will keep on incrementing until I use stop, right?
Correct. Yes. So
Zero,
at
and it will be in the format of 0 seconds
yes.
and 0 minutes.
Correct. We'll have like seconds, colon, minutes, 00 seconds, 00 minute is what we'll have by default. Whenever click on start, the timer starts where first second starts ticking. And then whenever it becomes 60 second, it becomes 1 minute 0 second. Then 1 minute 59 second, it becomes like 2 minutes 0 second. It keeps on happening, Aditi. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, UI is up to you. I'm not too concerned about the you look and feel. I'm primarily focused on the functionality. We have 15 minutes to solve this, Aditi. Okay. Get started. If you have any questions, you can ask me in middle as well. How efficiently you solve, that's what I'm looking for. You're iterating an approach, Aditi, in your mind, correct?
Yes, what
Yeah.
my idea is, earlier I was trying to create a new component altogether,
Mm,
but I thought that since the time is less, I'll just integrate in this.
sure.
I'll be declaring seconds and minutes as a variable, and I'll
Yeah.
initialize them with 0.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'll also call functions here, start
Yeah.
and stop.
Okay.
And I am thinking, if I'm not sure, to use interval.
Mm,
Interval where I'll keep on incrementing the seconds
okay.
and minutes. And for stop, I'm not sure how to use the process. I'm still thinking.
Let's do one thing. You start the implementation where at least let it start updating the time. Stop part will come. Like how do we solve? Probably by the time you start solving it, you might get some idea. If not, I'll help you. You can get started.
Mhm. Thanks. Oh, so okay. So they are in terms of stop, should I flush both these values to 0? I'm thinking, or
No, you're doing the right thing. You have to just swap the position. Or
sorry,
first it should be
sorry.
minutes and then it should be seconds. Correct? It's
Yeah,
happening
would
right,
I?
correct only, right? Like now it became 3 minutes, 3 minute 1 second, 3 minute 2 second, 3 minute 3 second. It's happening correct only, no?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Mm.
in terms of stop,
What do
I
you
was
think?
thinking
Mm.
to make these both values 0.
Please try. Please try.
Flushing as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Please try that. Let's see. We have another 2 to 3
No, no,
more
no, no,
minutes.
sorry, I'm so sorry. That is not stop. Stop is actually storing those values. Reset. Oh, indeed. What I was talking about was reset.
Yeah,
I'll just
let's
think.
consider for time being stop as reset only. When you if you click on stop, it'll be back to zero. Okay. How
Oh,
do we do that? Mm.
yes. We will do it like this.
Just before you save it, think what is the problem with this, or it will work perfectly. Fine.
I will. Okay. Oh, I've started the interval. I have not
Correct.
stopped it. So once if even if I stop, it will temporarily be 0, 0. Then once again it will start because it's an interval.
Correct. Good
So,
catch.
but I don't know the function Vasanth was said.
So you can
Okay,
use
I'll
a
just check.
clear interval to clear the interval. Okay.
Clear. Okay, we use clear interval. Okay. Mm, oh, yes.
Click on start again. So let's quickly reiterate the code. So we have two functions, start and stop, correct? So in start, you're basically creating a variable called this interval that you're clearing on whenever they click on stop. You're running an interval for 1 second, correct? And in every 1 second, you're incrementing the counter. And if whenever that particular counter reaches a specified value, for simplicity, we are taking it 10, but it should be ideally 60. 60 seconds is 1 minute. So when it becomes 60, you're initializing seconds as 0 and incrementing the minutes, correct? On stop, you basically are resetting the value to the initial value. On UI, can we go? HTML page?
Yes.
Yeah, please. So UI is again very simple. So where we are rendering the seconds, minutes, and start and stop button. Correct, Aditi?
Yes, yes.
Sure. Can you stop sharing, Aditi? So Aditi, I'm done from my end. I have my feedbacks in my mind and I've written few things. If you have any question before I share my feedback, please let me know.
I can't think of one right now,
Sure.
immediately. Yeah.
Sure, Aditi. Aditi, let me give you what I feel about the overall interview process, right? At 3 years of experience, so you are somewhere in the mid-range category. You're not even the whatever expected from senior is not expected from you, but whatever is expected from junior is also not expected from you. You are somewhere in middle, correct? Uh, Full-fledged system design question will not be asked for you, but there are certain things that they expect you should know very much in depth. On that note, the
Okay.
positive points, Aditi, are like excellent communication skills, one, and communication are usually divided in most of my data. Two communication skills are there. One is English communication skill, another is technical communication skills. People who are very good at English cannot articulate technical concepts very well unless they know the technical concepts. Correct? So I
Correct,
feel
correct.
to large degree both the communication skills are very good, Aditi. Whatever the concepts that you know, you are able to explain it very well. Okay. Even if it comes to coding, as though the problem was quite simple, you without any auto suggestions or looking for the syntax, you're able to solve it, which is good. Which is also a lot of people do not do now. They expect a lot of external help for writing the syntax. Where do I see primarily the areas of improvement, Aditi? With the how Angular re-renders the screen. See, that is one of the most basic questions that you can expect in an interview. Correct? So
Okay.
that is something, I mean, whenever you're not sure of those questions, you might be able to build a website like YouTube in a matter of a month. That caliber you could be. But whenever the fundamental concepts are unknown, the interviewer gets a little bit of a negative impression. Because in an interview, right? So fundamental concepts matter a lot. So my only suggestion is like focus more on understanding these fundamentals very well, Aditi. Okay. Good thing about the even so small question of DSA that I asked, it was very easy question. Eventually, you could come up to the two-pointer approach. So my suggestion is like solve some decent number of problems so that the your mind starts thinking analytically. So that helps you both in the DSA problem solving as well as on the problem solving of a typical anything, whether it's React or Angular or DSA. Everything the analytical thing is very important. Solving more DSA problem will help you to do that, Aditi. Rest looks good to me. This is my honest feedback. You have any closing thoughts or any questions?
Uh, I have one, honestly, Vasant.
Please.
What is your take on front-end developers doing extensive lead code? Like very
Mm.
extensive,
I
hard,
agree.
medium, talking about.
So it's a very good question,
Mm.
Aditi. So I myself have solved a good number of problems on lead code. So my suggestion to all is, unless you're targeting companies like Google, there are hardly few countable companies which are whose interview process is purely driven by DSA. Like if you go for Google, I've given interviews where 3 rounds pure DSA, they did not ask any front end questions. Okay. So if you are targeting such kind of company, then I would advise you solve as many number of problems as possible, because how many numbers to solve, nobody knows. So it's good to solve any number of problems. If not, if you, even if you're targeting a very premium product based companies also, most companies for a front end developer do not ask a very complicated DSA. They ask DSAs, but it is usually in like array, string, stack, queue, and linked list, 5 data structures. Within these 5 data structures, so I suggest everyone the same thing. Like so try to solve 100 problems collectively. Like where 60 easy
Okay.
problems you solve, 20 medium problems you solve, and 20 hard problems you solve. Start by easy problem. So 20 medium problem means one medium is two hard problem, one hard is two medium problem. So when you solve one hard problem, you're in turn solving four easy problems. Correct? So start by solving as many as possible as easy problems spread across the 5 data structures: array, string, stack, queue, and linked list. In fact, I made a video how much DSA is more DSA. I can put the link on somewhere on the screen in the description section. Please go ahead and check that out as well, Aditi. So beyond the 5 data structure, is it required to learn? From the learning point of view, yes. From the interview point of view, the probability of asking questions beyond this is less. So you end up spending so much time on learning them without any return. That's what my take, Aditi.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's expected, and it's always good to have knowledge.
Yes, I suggest if you're interested in learning DSA, go beyond linked list like trees or graphs or very specific algorithms like Dijkstra to find the shortest node. You could extend and learn. But from the interview point of view, for most companies, I suggest you stick to 5 data structures: array, string, stack, queue, and linked list. solve collectively 100 problems from these 5 data structures from lead code. That's going to be most helpful for you and everybody who's learning DSA for front end, Aditi. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. It really helps me.
Thank you. Thank you, Aditi. I assume all the audience who watch the video like the video. If you like it, please like the video, share the video with your friends. And if you have any comments regarding the video, please add those comments. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, Career with Vasanth, please subscribe. I try to bring more such interview and other front-end related content. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next video.